Many years ago, approximately 30, approximately, I remember watching a documentary on Bruce Lee, and many of his family members and students were, and even close friends were talking about their experience with Bruce Lee and his childhood life up until his point of celebrity as a celebrated motion picture action star and martial artist. And one individual depiction of Bruce Lee stood out in my mind, and so much so today uh, I decided I'm going to use the same expression that Bruce Lee used. And what he said to his friend, whoever it was at the time, I forget who it was, but I vividly remember this. He told his friend that I have become a bastard. And his friend asked him, what did he mean by that? He said, well, when I came to Hollywood, or even in Hong Kong, in the Hong Kong film industry, and I began to make these movies and became popular, uh, a lot of notoriety, people would come up to me and they were seemingly over nice or too nice. And he said, I often wondered if these people were genuine or not, or if they liked me for who I was, Bruce Lee, or did they like me just because of my stardom or the fact that I was famous. And that's an interesting thing to ponder. And it doesn't have to be someone that is a uh, high profile individual uh, in Hollywood necessarily. And it doesn't have to be somebody who is a multi-billionaire or multi-millionaire, uh, a famous singer, or even a martial artist as Bruce Lee was. And there's many martial artists that are famous that have been in movies. And that it doesn't have to be a rapper. It doesn't have to be those individuals in those stations of life. It can be people who are middle class. It can even be people that are poor that can make that statement that he made. I become a bastard. What I'm saying to you today is, I, brother teacher Reginald, I have become a bastard. And what I mean by that is simply this. I come to the realization that, and this is not an epiphany, this is not something that I just discovered. I gleaned this over the years I've been living, especially over the past couple decades, and even in more recent years, and that is just simply this. Everyone is not your friend. Everyone is not genuine. Sometimes you will come in contact with people who put up a facade. They will appear friendly. They will seem as though they are genuine and that they care about you. But oftentimes, more so than not, they are jealous of what you have in terms of material gain. And I don't claim to have anything like that. Or they are jealous of your character, how you carry yourself, and how it seems as though that you are a magnet to people magnet, some might call it. In other words, you attract a lot of people to you, and you are very popular. And this can happen in the workplace. This can happen in Hollywood, as I pointed out earlier, or it can happen just in business in general. It can happen socially when you go bowling or you go out to eat with friends and relatives and so forth. People just, for some reason, some internal reason, some wars going on in certain individuals' mind that makes them uneasy, uncomfortable when they see certain types of individuals, or they are around certain types of individuals that seem to have a purpose in life, and they feel as though that they don't have a purpose. They're not happy with themselves or their lives, their situations, their circumstances, and they look at you and they wish that they were like you. Sometimes even Were you? That's impossible. But anyway, they're jealous oftentimes at a difference, at a distance. And this can even be your family. True, it can be your family. Your family can be extremely bitter as individuals because you have obtained a certain place in life that they wish they had. Or if they had not had the discipline to achieve the things that you had because you put in the work, you put in the time. Now, I'm going to give you a scenario, a situation. Uh, when I was coming up, I've always been taught as a child to love everybody, to respect authority, to respect everyone, to treat people as I would want to be treated. And I'd often been called throughout my childhood life, up until teenager and then young adult, too nice. They say, you're too nice, you're too kind. You're going to let people run over you, or don't let people run over you because you're too nice. You know what? That didn't fall on deaf ears. I heard what those individuals said over the years, and I knew I was a nice guy. And it wasn't something that I was putting on, it's just basically who I was and have always been, because that's how I was taught. And I think that love is a very powerful emotion, and it's something that we should all pay more attention to instead of walking around being bitter all or most of our lives, and hateful even, some, not all. So once life hit me throughout its course, up until this present time, I began to see people's real or true side. That everyone did not mean me good. I have had people burn me in the sense that they would borrow things from me or money or what have you and wouldn't pay it back. And then I'd see them again and they would act as though they didn't borrow anything from me and maybe ask to borrow something again, or they would hide from me. And even in my business, in the retail side of my business, I have had people that would come to my store and ask for credit and say, I'll pay you Friday or I'll pay you next week if you can allow me to have this particular item or have a little store credit and things like this. I'm talking about over a period of years. So I got to the point in recent years, I want to say recent months, but I got to the point in recent years of just simply saying no. It used to bother me to say no, but not any longer. That could possibly be due to the fact that I'm older and I'm a bit more serious about life as I have aged. Not to say that I haven't been before, but I think with age comes maturity. If you live the proper life, that is. So I say no when I mean no, when I don't want to say yes. I say what I feel. I've had people come to me and say, hey, can I have this? I'll pay you tomorrow. And I look them dead in the eyes and say, I can't do that. And this is a regular thing with me now. Or can you do this for me and I'll pay you back this particular way, or I'll pay you back 5%, 10% or whatever. Nope, don't do that. That's not to say that I won't assist people from time to time, but I'm telling you, in most of these instances, the people are trying to manipulate me, as they might do you or have done you possibly in your life experiences. But I don't take it anymore. I'm hard, or harder now. And I'm encouraging you to become that bastard, that fatherless child. Even though you might have a father in your life or have had a father in your life that this does not apply to. But what I'm really getting at is this. We need to stop letting people take advantage of us. We need to stand firmly on both our feet, stand on our square, and look people dead in the eyes sometimes. And when we want to really say no, we need to just simply say no. That includes family, even if it's your mom or your dad. It's the way in which you say it also, mind you, as a footnote. I'm not saying be uh, mean or say it in a way that's disrespectful. You figure out how to approach someone that's very dear to you, such as your mom, your dad, maybe even a brother or sister or aunt or uncle or your grandparents who may ask you something or for something. You may have something that they need. They may need a helping hand, or they might just have a want. Might not even be something that they necessarily need, but they might have a want. Hey, baby, uh, can you loan Granny $50? Nope, I'm not able to do it, Granny. Even if they know that you have money or that you are well employed, you have a nice job, and so forth. Sometimes you have to say no. You don't owe anyone anything. What you owe yourself is this: self respect, dignity. Love this person first. Then you can see clearly how you're going to love everyone else. It all starts at home. This is home, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever you are, touch yourself right now. Say, I'm taking care of me first, and you come second. That's your children as well. Now, I want to qualify what I just said to you by putting it this way. You cannot help, you cannot aid, you cannot encourage, you cannot help build another individual, another human being up, or help deliver them from their situation. Note that I said help, I didn't say do it for them. You can't do any of those things for another human being unless you are right first. If I'm stressed, overly stressed, depressed, and oppressed, how can I help someone else when I am in shambles, when I am broken? I need to work on Reginald first. And then when I work on me first, that means cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure that I'm okay with me. Then I can help others. Then and only then. It's not me sacrifice of myself, my energy to anyone, and then I collapse as a result. I've seen parents, I've seen grandparents, aunts and uncles who have children, even grown children that are in and out of the justice system, and they've taken their life savings and they keep bailing them out of jail. But the behavior that these people are carrying out doesn't stop. It's perpetual. They go back to jail again, and the parents will mortgage the house to get the child out, as if that's showing them love. Love is leaving them in there, giving them time to think about what they have done. I'm not talking about people that are innocent. I'm talking about people who actually are engaging in activities that's harmful to themselves and particularly other people. Stealing, robbing, menacing, damaging property, things of this nature. Any of that you have control over and you continue to do it, and you know mom's going to bail me out of jail, dad's going to bail me out, my grandparents going to bail me out, they're going to let me stay in their home. Sometimes you need to stay there so that you can think and come to yourself. That's the best lesson. That's the best help that mom, dad, and anybody else can give to you. So all of you that I just mentioned who fall under this category of helping people all of the time, at your demise sometimes, or causing you an additional amount of stress on your shoulders, on your back, causing you to have poor health. You need to really rethink this. Not tomorrow, but today. Rethink it today. You must realize, my friends, that you are important. You are important to your family. And many of us who have friends that are close friends, sometimes it's just a handful of friends that are dear to us. you are important to them as well. And if you do work in your community, or you're a business owner, such as myself, you are important to that community. If you are not healthy, it starts here first, emotionally healthy. How can you be helpful to anyone else when your lack of health is because of your poor choices? And those poor choices meaning that you are giving to people who are less deserving, who are manipulating you, who are taking advantage of you, and again, to include your family. This is not the scenario that works in every situation. This is not true, I should say, in every situation, because there are some very, very, very solid families. They have a solid foundation. They have good relationships. But I'm talking about the ones that are broken, really, truly broken. Fighting, arguing within the family. I'm talking about people who, just in general, you allow society to overwhelm you and you don't speak your mind. You go to a restaurant and you sit down to eat something and you have poor service, but you won't say anything. I used to be that person. My first wife, before she passed away, she'd be the one that would speak out. I'd be the one of reason, the voice of reason. Oh no, it's okay. We'll let it go. I'm still going to tip the lady and so forth, because she doesn't make that much money. I don't do that anymore. And I stopped doing it some years ago. Start calling things out for what they are. Now, I'm going to say this again before I leave. Make certain that you always approach it from a standpoint of love when you put people in their place. Say it with respect, but say it firmly at the same time. And look people dead in their eyes and mean what you say. Even if you're uncomfortable at first and you're not used to doing this, trust and believe you will get used to it once you start doing it. Because it's going to become your new habit. It's going to become your new you. Which is something that you should have had all along. A change of paradigms. And anytime we change our paradigm of who we are, it's going to make us better, and it's not going to come without a little struggle internally. You're going to have a struggle at first because you're going to be warring against what you've been used to. Sometimes the things that we have been used to for so long have really been detrimental to us. So I'm telling you today, stop falling for the okie doke. Stop allowing people to get under your skin. Let them know that they're getting under your skin. When someone is doing something that's bothering you or hurting you, walk up to them and say, excuse me, I don't care who it is. It's going to be your mother. I want you to know, with all due respect, that what you said to me was inappropriate. I didn't like what you said. It doesn't matter who it is. Now, pick the proper time now. Pick the proper place. But take a deep breath and stand your ground firmly. You don't have to clench your fists as if you're going to get into a physical altercation, but tell them what's on your mind. Tell them how you feel. I'm not going to take it anymore. You've been borrowing money from me, for example. You've been borrowing money from me. You've been owing me money for 6 months, for a year. You never paid me back this money. Don't ever ask me for money again. This is the kind of response that I'm talking about. Don't ever form your lips to ask me for money again if you can't pay me, because that lets me know that you don't love me. You don't care about me. That's a character issue that you need to work on. Being honest, being genuine. These are the types of things that you need to tell these people. Get off my feet. You're standing on my feet. You're crowding me. No, I'm not going to come over your house this weekend. Why? Because I don't want to. No, I'm not going to go out to lunch with you. No, I'm not going to the movies with you. No, I don't want to watch television with you. Why? Because I don't want to. Stop letting people force their intentions on you. Do you follow what I'm saying? Be yourself and be happy. But happiness starts here first, not outside of you. No one should fashion the way in which you guide your life. No one should fashion the way in which you think. The things that you like and dislike are those things that you like and dislike. Don't let someone influence your likes and dislikes. If you like something, Don't let someone convince you that you don't like it. And the same is true conversely. If you don't like something, no, I don't see why you don't like that, man. You need to just try. No, I said I don't like it. That's the end of the conversation. We don't have anything else to say. Does it sound like I'm being brutally honest? That's what I'm trying to get you to think about. You need to start being brutally honest. You can do it. I have faith in you. This is Brother Teacher. Have a good evening or day, wherever you may be. So long.